For this particular problem, we're going to use systems of equations to try to figure out the cost of one item. Large pizzas cost $15.95, and medium pizzas cost $12.95. The total money made was $427.50. There was a total of 30 pizzas sold. How many large pizzas were sold and how many medium pizzas were sold? Okay, so the first thing you want to do here is you want to underline or highlight the important information. So I know that large pizzas costs $14.95 and medium pizzas cost $12.95. And the total money made was $427.50. So the reason I'm highlighting all of these in the same color is because they all have to do with price. Now, there's another thing that says there was a total of 30 pizzas sold. So that's something a little bit different. How many large pizzas were sold and how many medium pizzas were sold? All right. So for this one, what we want to do first is we want to set up a system of equations. Now, I know that large and medium were both bought, and there was a total of 30 pizzas that were purchased. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up my equation to look like this. Large plus medium equals 30, since there were a total of 30 pizzas sold and they were both large and medium. Now I'm going to go to the yellow highlighted, and it says large pizzas cost $15.95. So I'm going to put that as 15.95 L plus 12.95 M equals the total amount of 427.50. So now I have my system of equations and I need to figure out how to solve them. From previous lessons, you remember that you can solve a system by graphing, by substitution, or by elimination. For this particular problem, since these represent a 1L and 1M, I'm going to use substitution. So I'm just going to solve this equation for either large or medium and then substitute it into the other equation. So I'll just say that I'm going to solve for large here. That means I need to subtract the medium from both sides to get what my large equals. So my large is 30 minus the medium. Now, since I'm substituting, I'm going to put this right there in place of the L. So 15.95 times 30 minus M plus 12.95 M equals 427.50. All right, so since I don't know that off the top of my head, I'm going to put this into the calculator. I have 15.95 times 30, and that gives me 478.50 minus 15.95 M, because remember you have to distribute to both of these, plus 12.95 M equals 427.50. Okay, you combine like terms and you end up getting a -3. So I'm going to bring this up here. 478.50 minus 3M equals 427.50. Now, keep in mind that since the M is the only value here, whatever I get will be the amount of the medium pizzas. So then I would plug that in here to figure out the amount of the large pizzas. All right, so I want to subtract 478.50 from both sides because I want to get the variable by itself, and in this case that's the M. So I have -3M equals, move this over here, 427.50 minus 478.50 50. And I end up with negative 51. If you divide both sides by negative 3, you end up with 17. So that means there were 17 medium pizzas sold. Now to figure out how many large were sold, I'm just going to take 30 minus my 15. So for my large pizzas, because remember my equation was 30 minus m, I'm going to say that 30 minus 17 equals the large. So there were 13 large pizzas sold and 17 medium pizzas sold. In order to figure out if that is the correct amount, what you could do is you could plug in 1595 times the amount of your large, which was 13, plus 1295 times the number of mediums, and see if that does add up to 427.50. If it does, you know that it's correct. And it actually does, so this is the correct amount of pizzas that were sold.